I wanted to know, who are these people? Why can they do that? What is happening there? What country is this? How did they manage to survive? What happened? What did we miss? What did we not understand? Доброго дня, мене звати Соня, і я вже майже 3 роки вивчаю українську мову. Welcome to my channel. I am Sonia and I've been learning Ukrainian for almost 3 years now. And in this video I would like to talk a little bit about the reasons why I started to learn Ukrainian. If you look at the date when this video is published and you count back almost 3 years, you will end up in February 2022. And this was the month when Russia decided it's time to invade Ukraine. And this is why I started learning Ukrainian in February 2022. Maybe even a little bit earlier, because Ukraine was in the news starting January, December before that. And I do not remember when I started learning Ukrainian on Duolingo. But I can go into a little bit more detail why I wanted to learn Ukrainian. The first reason was that pretty much directly after the beginning of the invasion, people from Ukraine started to flee to Europe. And they came to Germany and they came to the city where I live. Very soon it became clear that there's a huge amount of help that the people in this city were willing to give. I also wanted to help, but very soon the city administration basically said, we need space for people to live. We don't need any more clothes, but if you speak Ukrainian or Russian, we could really use your help. But at that point, I could speak neither Ukrainian nor Russian. And of course, I could not change this within a few weeks. But I thought to myself, yeah, maybe it will come in useful to know Ukrainian. Why I did not learn Russian is a topic for another video, but at that point, I started learning Ukrainian. The second reason is that after the invasion, about everybody in Western Europe thought it would be over quite quickly. And in a bad way, quickly. So nobody expected that Ukraine has a chance. And then, for some reason, Russia did not succeed in the first few weeks. We were watching the news, or I was watching the news, and I remember the images of this column of tanks that was driving towards Kiev and never arrived. And I remember that I was thinking, what is going on there? And I started reading more news, and I wanted to read better news and fresher news. And I noticed that all the news sites like Tagesschau, Süddeutsche Zeitung, etc., and also international ones, Guardian, CNN, whatever, they had a delay of 1 to 2 days and they did not report everything. So the first thing I did was I went to Twitter, which was back then an okay-ish platform. And there I read English language news from Ukraine. And that was already much better. And then I noticed, yeah, but not everything is written in English, even from Ukraine. The English language journalists in Ukraine did not report about everything. And then I started to look at Ukrainian language news sources with machine translation. And this worked quite well, even back then. But I soon noticed that it is much, much, much faster if I can at least skim the articles, skim the headlines, what is happening. If I knew like the most important words for reading the news in Ukrainian, and then I can filter out what articles I want to read, maybe what YouTube videos I want to watch. So I had a strong motivation to get a very basic understanding of Ukrainian fairly quickly. And the third reason was that after a few weeks and months, Ukraine still fought back. And I began to be interested in this country and in this society. This did not match what I thought about Eastern Europe. This did not match what I was thinking about a former Soviet republic. Apologies that I was still thinking about Ukraine in terms of a former Soviet republic 30 years after the Soviet Union collapsed. But, well, yeah, it doesn't help. It's just how I thought. So what I observed in the news and on Twitter and then starting then also on YouTube, it totally did not match my expectations. And then I got really, really curious and I wanted to understand that country. And this sounds trivial and simple, and it was not that trivial, it was not that simple, and it was not that fast. But I wanted to know, who are these people? So why? Why can they do that? What is happening there? What country is this? And this curiosity in the end led to me also going to Ukraine in June 2023 for the first time, because I was, and I still am, curious about the country. And I'm fascinated by this country, because how did they manage to survive? What happened? What did we miss? What did we not understand? And what happened next is that, because I watched a lot of Ukrainian language content, and I also started learning systematically, maybe it has to happen when you spend so much time in a new language, but I actually fell in love. And I did not fall in love with the country or certain people or even the immense bravery and courage and skill and energy and whatever of the Ukrainian people, but nope, I simply fell in love with the sounds of this language. And this led me to where I am now, still learning Ukrainian, but being able to speak a little bit. I will continue this story because, of course, how I learned the language, what I actually did, what apps did I use, what websites, what tools, whatever. It is the reason why I started this channel, and I will talk about it in future videos. And until then, Papa.